Haboim, welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Kuf Tes Amud Beis. 7 lines from the top of the new Mishnah. The Mishnah is discussing refuah on Shabbos. Chachamim made a gezerah of refuah because of shchika samamonim. They were concerned that a person will grind the herbs and thereby be over the Isser D'Oraisa of Toichen on Shabbos. Our Mishnah discusses certain things that one can eat or cannot eat, depending on whether it's a problem for refuah or not. Says the Mishnah, Ein oichlin ezoiv yoin b'Shabbos. A person cannot eat ezoiv yoin, lavender on Shabbos. The fisha eino meichel berim, because these are not what healthy people eat, and therefore it's clearly indicative that he's eating it in order for healing purposes. Aval oichel hu es yoyezer v'shoyse abuvroye. However, he can eat yoyezer and he can drink aboivroye. These are two items that the Gemara will identify, but these are things that even healthy people eat. And therefore the Mishnah brings a klal, kol ha-oichlin, all the foods that healthy people would eat. Oichel adam l'refuah, even a sick person may eat it for medicinal purposes. V'chol ha-mashkin, all those things that a healthy person may drink. Then shoyse, even a sick person may drink those drinks. Here the word chutz is to be read like this. And therefore, exceptions to those things that a person can eat or drink are those things that a person who is ill normally will eat or drink because of medicinal purposes. And they are made dekolim and kois ikorin. Made dekolim are certain waters that flow between two dekel trees that are found in Eretz Yisrael, and kois ikarin are certain essential types of vegetables. The girl will identify that a person will drink, and the reason why these are problematic is because people do so in order to then take care of jaundice, and therefore it's clearly for medicinal purposes, and therefore it is usr. However, a healthy person can drink made dekolim if he is thirsty. And a healthy person can take the oil of the shemen ikarin and he could rub it on his skin, and that will be mutter on Shabbos. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Yosef, Eizoiv Abarta bar hamog. Ezoiv, that is referred to in the Torah, is the abarsa, the hyssop of bar hamog. Ezoivyon, that which is mentioned in our Mishnah, that's abarta bar hing. That's the type of hyssop of bar hing. Ula Omar marva chivra. Ula says that it's the sage that is white. That is what the ezoivyon is. Ula ikloi lebe Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda, visited bar Shmuel bar Yehuda, aisu lekamei marva chivra. They brought him this sage that was white, a white sage. Omar, he said, Hainu ezov dechsi baraisa. This is the hyssop referred to in the Torah. Rav Papi Omar shumshuk. Rav Papi argued and said, no, shumshuk is that which is the hyssop mentioned, the ezov that's mentioned in the Torah. On Rabbi Yirmiyahu midifti kavoseder Rav Papi mistaber, it's mastaber like Rav Papi mentioned, that is this shumshuk, this nine, because it says in the Mishnah as it describes the hyssop, the ezov, mitzvahs ezov, shloishe klochin, it has 3 stalks, ubehen shloishe givoilin, and there are 3 different compartments, capsules of seeds on each one of these stalks. The shumshuk hu the mishtake chohochi, and we find that shumshuk has this type of description, and therefore shumshuk, indeed, he says in Mistaber to be the hyssop, the ezov in the Torah. Lemay achli le, asked the Gemara, why would a person eat the ezoivyon? Answers the Gemara, lekukayani, because of intestinal worms. B'may achli le, asked the Gemara, with what does he eat it? B'sheva tamri uchmata, with 7 black dates. Mimai havya, what brings about these intestinal worms? Mikimcha desari decholif alei arboin yomin, 40-day-old flour that was grinded as barley flour. If he eats and consumes such flour, it can cause these intestinal worms. The Gemara now quotes the Mishnah, Aval oichel hu es yoyezer. However, he can eat yoyezer because, again, healthy people also eat yoyezer. Therefore, it's not clearly mukhrach that the person who is sick, who's eating it, is doing so for medicinal purposes. Maya yoyezer. What is yoyezer? The Gemara wants to identify pusnak. The Gemara says it's mint. Lemai achli lo. For what does a person eat this? La'arkisa. For worms that are found in the liver. B'mai achli le. With what do they eat this? B'sheva tamrei chivarta. With 7 white dates. Mimai havia. From what does these worms that are found in the liver, how do they come about? Me umtsa umaya aliba direkana. From raw meat that is put on coals and then drink together with water on an empty stomach. Umevisra shmona aliba rekana. Or on fatty meats on an empty stomach. Or mebisra detura aliba rekana. Or when one consumes meat from an ox on an empty stomach. Ume amguza aliba rekana. Or for eating a nut on an empty stomach. Umegire de rubia aliba rekana. Or having stems from a rubia on an empty stomach. Umeshasi maya abasraya, and when one drinks water after these things. V'ilo, and if this is not a proper, a possible type of remedy to eat this yoezer, then livlo tachli chivarta, then swallow white cress from a plant. V'ilo, and if not, if this is also not a possibility, or it's not effective, then leisi batanisa, then he should fast. V'leisi bisro shamno v'lishti agumro, then they should bring him meat that is fatty meat, and they should throw it on the agumra, on the coals. V'limitz garma, and then he should suck the bone with the meat on it. V'ligma chala, and sip vinegar. V'iked some say chala loy, don't sip the vinegar because mishum takashi lechavda, because that will be difficult, that will be not good for the liver. V'ilo, and if this is also not a possibility, laisi garda de asinta, then bring the tree, the bark of a tree, of a type of bush, the garida me'aloi litatoi, where you scraped off the bark from the top to the bottom, but not in the reverse. V'loi mitatoi li'iloi, and not from the bottom to the top. Dilma nafke aidi pume, lest the worms come out of his mouth. V'lishlike b'shichro shivave, and let him broil it in beer that is there in the ben hashmashos. Ulamachar niskarinon linakvin didei v'lishti, and the next day we should close his nostrils, and he shall drink it. V'chi mepani, and when he then has to relieve himself, mepani afshicha dedikla, then he should relieve himself on the part that is peeled off from that tree. V'shoisin abuvroya. Now the Gemara quotes the Mishnah that you can drink abuvroya on Shabbos, again, because that is what also healthy people drink, and therefore even a person who is sick may drink that on Shabbos as well. My abuvroya. The Gemara wants to identify what this is. Gemara says it's chum troya. Ask the Gemara, my chum troya. What is chum troya? Chum troya yechido. It's a tree that doesn't have branches. Lemai avdilo. For what is it effective for? Legiluya, says the Gemara, with water that is left open, that is very likely to have a snake put its venom inside, and a person then drank it, he is then going to get seriously ill as a result of that venom inside of his system. V'iloi, and if he cannot then drink this as a potion, then leisi chamsha klili v'chamsha koisosa shichro, then they should bring him 5 roses that were soaked with 5 cups of beer, and he should drink that. V'nishlakinu bahadi hadodi, and they should cook it together adikaimi an anpeke benishti, until it gets to a certain shear of a revis halug, and then he should drink it. Says the Gemara, Ime de Rav Achadvui bar Ami, the mother of Rav Achadvui bar Ami, avdelei lahu gavra, she made this potion for a certain person. Chad kalila, 1 rose, v'chad koisesa de shichra, and 1 cup of beer, the shalka v'ishkakise, and she cooked it together and she had him drink it. The shagra tanura v'garfte, and she lit up a oven and she took out the coals. V'usvise leveinosa begavye, and she had him sit on a brick inside of this oven. V'nofak kuhutzi yarka, and then the poison went out of him like a green leaf from a palm tree, whereby the green liquid, which was the venom, it escaped him and left his body. Rav Avya Omar, Rav Yava said, Reviyasa dechalba meiza chivarta. He says a revis of milk from a white goat. Rav Huna bar Yehuda Omar Laisi esroige chalisa, bring a sweet esroig v'lichayke v'limle dvusha, and make a hole in the side of the esrog and put dvash, honey, inside of it. V'lois bebe melali nenura, and then have him put burning coals, v'lichle, and then after it is on these burning coals and is cooked, the esrog together with the dvash, v'lichle, have him eat it. Rav Chanina Omar me raglayim b'nei arboim yoim, b'mei raglayim that are 40 days old have the following medicinal effects. Barzina lizibura, a small amount of a barzina, that's the size, small cup, is going to be effective for a lizibura, a hornet sting. Rivi'ah, a rivias halug, is la'akrova, for a scorpion sting. Palga riva, a quarter of a riva, that's going to be effective for ligiluya, for the water that was left open that can have the venom of a snake. Riva, a full riva of a lug, afilu l'kshafim ma'alu, it will be even effective against witchcraft. Omar Rabbi Yochanan, anigroin, the spinach root which is cooked with water, v'avangar, and a certain herb that is cooked together with the water, v'tiraika, and also balsam that is cooked with water. Malu bein legiluya bein l'shafim. These are effective both for giluya, the water that was left open that could have venom inside of it, as well as for witchcraft. Ask the Gemara, Haiman de bola chivya, this one that swallowed a snake, what should he do? Says the Gemara, luchle b'keshusa b'milcha, he should consume barley hops with salt, that are salted, v'liharte tlasa mili, and he should run 3 mil. Rav Simi bar Ashi Chazi lahu gavr de bola chivya, he saw that there was a person who swallowed a snake. Id melei kiparsha. So Rav Simi bar Ashi, he appeared like a horseman, like a person who was a strong, aggressive man, so that the person will listen to his instructions. He fed him the barley hops that were salted, and had him run for 3 mil. And the snake then escaped from him. It went out from him in pieces. He was able to then get rid of that snake. Some say Rav Simi bar Ashi bolachivya. It was Rav Simi bar Ashi himself that swallowed a snake. Also Eliyahu Navi came, Id melei kiparsha, he appeared like a horseman. Oichle keshusa b'milcha, he had him eat the salted barley house, v'harte kami tlasi mili, and he had him run 3 mil. V'nofek minei guvi guvi, and the snake then left him in pieces.